Okay, let's get started. We are streaming as well so that you guys can go through this later. Okay, here we go. Okay, chalo. So we are ready. Let the game begin, everyone. So, guys, just quickly drop message reminders to your team members. If possible, fatafat call them. Let's make it a quick habit, guys, to really pull the guys into it. So with small, just few minutes of discipline, more and more team will also start taking advantage of this. Okay, so just drop message as a reminder. Just say we are getting started, and it's required, guys. Team effort say you will be getting maximum results in your life. So that's a very essential section. Okay. Meanwhile, okay, Krishna Kanti, if you are acha, you are calling, na? No, you are on mute. Acha, you are calling someone. ठीक है. Okay. Fine, guys. So, chalo, it's already 9:04. We'll be getting started. Okay. So, okay. So, few important things you need to realize. Some of you might already know it, but it's good to put the core foundation in place. Okay. Uh, देखो, what happens is as you start growing in no matter what industry, IT ले लो, कुछ भी ले लो, and I think majority of you will be into the IT industry itself. You need to understand कि a point comes, okay, maybe you will start your life, your career as an independent developer, but a point comes where for growing up the ladder, you need to start very closely interacting with team. Okay, you cannot stay always independent developer all throughout your life. And if you're choosing, okay, I have seen people even with 10 years of industry experience, they are still independent, 12 years still independent developers. So for such people, future opportunities are basically cutting down, because for how long they will stay independent? And even after 12 years, 15 years calling themselves independent, so in the market there will be people with lesser experience, but still they will be able to do the job with lesser pay. Okay? So slowly and steadily, the market may need also starts disappearing if you just continue on the route of independent development. Okay? Or anybody, independent Q, anything. In order to evolve in your career, you need to start leading teams, dealing with teams. I'm not saying from management perspective, but even from a technical line. Okay, if you become a technical lead or an architect, there also you need to know how to really work with the people, guiding them, mentoring them, checking on them how the progress is going, and all these things are skills which is required. Okay. Now the thing is, the sooner you learn these skills in your career, the better it is going to be in your long-term life. Okay, and that's what it is. Okay, and leadership, or speaking to people, guiding people. One core piece of that, essential piece of that is, okay, how you communicate. Okay, one thing is, yes, what knowledge you have, what kind of a person you are, those all things are there. But how can you effectively convey whatever you know or feel to the other person? That's what is communication. Communication is key. Whatever you know, you believe, you feel in your mind, you should be able to transfer it to the other person. Okay, so that other guy understands it very proper. And that's what is communication. If you can convey your thoughts, feelings, emotions to the other guys, that means you're able to properly communicate. But if yourself itself is confused, don't know what to say, what not to say, and running here and there with thoughts, and the person in front of you is just looking at and not understanding what you're trying to say, so that's a problem. Okay, you cannot really work with teams in such case. So just understand, So communication is definitely going to be required at some stage in your career, and the sooner you master it, the better it will be. Okay, and if you're really good in communication, you would have to, you will be getting more opportunities. Okay, and I have heard some of my friends in multiple companies, in their company, they said ki one mandatory criteria during the COVID times this came. One mandatory criteria for hiring was ki bhai communication should be good. Okay, in the IT industry this was required. Okay, the reason for that was ki many projects of that company had on-site clients. Okay, maybe in Europe or all those Western areas. So the point is, if a person cannot talk to them, cannot understand what they are saying, so anyways that person is going to do wrong coding, wrong development. So they said ki bhai, if the person maybe technically is good but he's not able to convey whatever he has the knowledge, so don't select those people. So understand there are kind of these possibilities also there. Other thing, practically I have seen some situations ki knowledge wise person is really good. Okay, but when it comes to explaining it to others, he's not able to do it. This is a recent incident in one of my friends company. Okay, one really good person having 6 years of experience. Okay, now that guy is technically very good, he's able to solve complex problem challenges, but higher management is not even promoting that guy. Why? Because whenever this person goes for some meeting, maybe design discussions or anything, he's not able to speak there at all. And the thing is ki okay, the friend, the manager of that person is my friend. So that person is tells me ki, yaar, I know that this person is having very good technical knowledge, and when we say a raise to the higher management ki we want to promote this guy or give a better hike to this person, the higher management is saying ki, hey, but we have not seen him do anything in the meetings, like how can you then promote? So he's not ready yet, and because of that he's suffering since past 3 years. Promotion nahi mil raha hai, hikes are not coming good. But this guy is telling my friend कि यार technically बहुत अच्छा, he is able to think so many cases which good developers are also not able to do, and he finishes the thing so fast, but there is no growth now happening because he is not able to like present himself nicely in front of bigger people. Okay, so you need to understand, not sure when and how, but some stage, if you're good in communication, you will be getting more opportunities and it will be useful for you. Okay, now that is one. Now the second thing, just know this ki, देखो, we all are good in communication. You need to accept this fact first. Okay, point is maybe in your regional language or in whichever flavor you are. Okay, just observe yourself, there will be certain environment, certain situation, certain language, certain people, with them you just speak and you convey. Okay, so you are good, you have mastered this art already in certain areas of your life. Okay, but when it comes to away from this comfort area, maybe a different language, different people, different situation, then nervousness and all that starts kicking in. But ideally, just understand, as a person who you are already good, and you have proved it to yourself. In now, there are a lot of parameters. When I speak to my friends or my family, okay, I'm talking on your behalf. If when you are speaking to your friends and family in your regional language, in your comfort area, automatically you will be like flawless. Sab kuch badhiya badhiya. There is no need of even correction. You're like everything comfortable. Situation changes, people changes, platform changes, and all of a sudden now there is like a rush in the mind happening, what to say, what not to say, how will this thing, how will that thing. Now we need to really understand what's happening and how we can be composed, because the sooner you master this art, the better your career opportunities will be. Okay, now chalo, let's start breaking down. Dekho, guys, you have the most effective machine, which is your brain, and you don't know how to operate it, but it operates by itself. Your brain does everything by itself. Did you ever train your brain ki bhai data kahan pe rakhna hai and how to think? It is just a mechanism, it just thinks by itself. Okay, our internal full organs, we never teach our heart ki bhai, okay, abhi pumping stop karenge, abhi start karenge. It's a built-in mechanism. So we are created like a masterpiece and we don't know how to operate ourselves properly. Okay. Similarly, you have this powerful brain which just runs by normally and it is doing wonders. If you apply it properly, you can master any communication area in any environment with any people. You need to now do some training for your brain. It can do its own job very properly. You need to guide it. That's it required. And if you do that effectively, and again, if you do that long enough, if you stay consistently training your brain for communication, automatically the brain will master that art. Okay, simple. How exactly to be done? What are the steps? So pura ka pura samajhte. First conclusion, you are already good in communication. And you know that because of you have proven it to yourself, certain set of people, certain environments, you mastered that. When this change is happening, then uncomfortability is happening. Okay, that's it. You can do it, but there is a problem in different area. And now the thing is, your brain is very capable to learn any environment or people based communication. Brain is capable already. We need to guide the brain properly so that it really learns it and applies it long enough. Okay, and if you do that, automatically you can master any area. This is what it is. Okay, now chalo, let's start breaking it down. So first, you are already good. Second, you need to train the brain to be good in any circumstances. These two things required. Get the awareness. Okay, now how exactly? Chalo, let's break it down. Okay, so everybody remember the day when you were born. ओके एकदम छोटे छोटे आ गए थे दुनिया में क्वां क्वां करते okay, so we don't have any conscious memories at that time ke what we did. 2 years gone, 1.5 year gone, nobody remembers anything. That means we don't have any conscious brain processing logic in it, and we still have the same brain. Okay, the point is, as you grow, you start, this logical mind starts growing, conscious brain starts going, then you start forming memories and all. But the initial 2 years, 3 years of our lives when we were newborn, the brain with all of its senses, okay, smell, eyes, touch, and all of those, hearing power, it was just consuming and absorbing. And that's the reason a human being born in any family across the world, of any culture, any language, just adapts, because the brain is designed to consume and become that. There were languages in the past where sign languages mein baat hoti hai, brain learns that. So brain is very powerful. We don't know that. It's very powerful. Okay? Now the thing is ki, while you were born, important, the brain, you never tried to learn a language. You were just there. Your brain and all your senses were just exposed to the language which is being spoken in your home. You were observing, you were hearing, and you were trying to see the actions and everything. And eventually, after 3 years, you started speaking entire language. Now you need to understand, guys, 3 years may a newborn baby can learn an entire language. 3 years. And guys, people here in industry and all, whatever, they are like, I'm not able to learn this language, that language. And like, 3 साल में एक बच्चा कुछ भी सीख सकता है. If you really want, within 6 months, you can become very nice and comfortable. 6 months is a long time to really master communication. But the point is, you need to do certain activities for next maybe some 6 months of time. उसके बाद, you will be so flawless and fluent. You need to have that patience. Understand, guys, life is all about, in the end, patience. If you can be that, results will be good. So now just let's get back. So as a child, your brain consumed. You did not try to even learn it. Your brain just consumed, absorbed, and then after 3 years, it started speaking it. Now, what does this mean? If you want to apply this in your current circumstances, simple, just follow the same normal human process of learning. You need to expose yourself to this new environment, to this new language, or whatever you're trying to do, which makes you uncomfortable. So new set of people, maybe new set of technology, or maybe new set of meetings, So you just have to expose yourself to those environments, and then you have to speak there. So it is two steps. One is consume more of this new language, new atmosphere. Second is speak more in that language, in that atmosphere. That's it, guys. Rest everything, techniques will be there, guidance will be there, inputs will be there. Everything else you will learn automatically. But the core point by which you can improve in your communication is you need to absorb it into your life. You need to see it more, hear it more, let the brain absorb everything. Second important is you need to speak up. That's it. That's the core by which you can learn and master communication. Rest everything will be techniques, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, clear? And that's how your brain works basically. So we are not trying to challenge anything new. That's how your brain works. Okay. Now the question is, यहाँ पे comes, you need to guide yourself in those environments where you consume, and you need to prepare environments where you speak. Now that is your responsibility. So as a child, you were naturally in that environment where you listened, you consumed, and after 3 years, you started speaking. So that process happened naturally to you. But right now, wherever you are, you need to put some efforts in order to create that environment where you can absorb these new learnings. And then you need to create an environment where you can speak these new learnings. And when you do it effectively, now your brain is even more mature. You can logically process, you can do a lot of things. With this smart brain which you have right now, you will learn faster. You will learn faster because your logical brain can also remember a few things. You are at a better stage in your life rather than a newborn baby. So that's where in less time you can learn a language very nicely, very comfortably. Okay, just two things you need to care: absorbing and sharing, speaking. These two things. Okay, fine. So far clear, guys? Okay, clear everyone? Okay, so first, we all are good in communication. Second, we need to train our brain properly to learn any new environment and language. Third, key thing, you need to absorb that new environment into you, and you need to speak in that new environment. That's it. You do it long enough, you will just master the art. Now comes the question. Okay, how can you expose yourself to these new situations? And when you're doing it, what do you really see and observe? Okay, go. Simple. There are basically three variations or forms by which communication become effective. Okay, it is, we have discussed this earlier. These are the three V's of communication. Okay, three V's. V. Okay, victory wala V. So there are three V's of communication, which is visual, verbal, vocal. Okay, so I'm just writing it down. Three V's of communication. I'll just quickly share my screen as well. Okay, three V's: visual, vocal, verbal. Now, what your focus should be in order to master your communication in any area, you need to master your learning or absorbing. Part one is absorb. Absorb की स्पेलिंग क्या है यार? ABSOR. अरे आगे क्या आता है? ABSOR. B absorb और B क्या? अरे it's not sounding right. Google करना. What?
B, just B.
Oh, just B, yeah. Okay. Now this is right. Okay, so part one is absorb, and part two is, okay, doing it. Okay, these are two things. So absorb is just be in that environment where you see it, where you listen it, where you consume it. That's what is absorption. And while you're doing it, you need to focus on all these three aspects. That's how you learn any language. Okay, so you need to see it from your eyes, you need to listen what is being done, and you need to even verbally, nothing but words. Okay, you need to focus on all of these three areas. We'll speak more about it. And then in each of these three areas, you need to practice and tell as well. Okay, so if in order to master communication, you need to absorb these three and you need to practice these three long enough, automatically you will start becoming better. Okay, visual, vocal, verbal. Okay, so that's it. Your absorption and telling both should care about these three areas: visual, verbal, vocal. Okay, now let's get back step by step. Let's break it down. Okay, there you go. Firstly, we said communication is something which is in you. You should be able to give it to the other person. Let's take the example of the session itself. Okay, how would I be able to communicate effectively to you? Okay, so I am a sender here, you are a receiver here while I am speaking. If you speak, you become sender, I become receiver. Now the thing is, these three aspects, three V's: visual, verbal, vocal. Okay, I am unknowingly or knowingly applying all these three, and somehow you are noticing knowingly or unknowingly and consuming all these three. Okay, for example, visual is ke while I speak, how do I look? Visual appearance. Okay, so when I'm speaking something, you might realize that my facial expressions will change. Sometimes I might say something intensely, so I'm like becoming more serious in my look. Sometimes I might just laugh. Okay, it's so easy, you can definitely learn it. Okay, plus along with it, how my entire body language is. Now, my words might be anything, but how do I look end to end, from my facial expressions, my hand gestures, my entire state of the body? That visual appearance itself is communicating. Okay, and it is proven, okay, based upon surveys and stats, that almost 55% of effective communication happens based upon how you look. When you say something, how you look, 55%. Now my words might be anything, but if I look energetic, if I look confident, automatically you will consume more of me, whatever I'm trying to say. If I look itself lazy and like blah blah blah, it will not effectively connect. So one thing when you are listening or absorbing is, you need to see how the other person is physically appearing, facial expressions, hand gestures, body language. That's what you have to see it more often. Okay. Now the thing is, how can you see these things? If you just stay in your home and keep talking to two, three of your people itself, your brain might not even notice. Now let's say you all want to learn a different communication language. Dekho guys, and I'll just let's clarify a few things here. He somehow across the globe, English has become the necessary language of communication. Okay, that is the only common language which binds the world together. Okay, nothing else. So no emotions attached. Let's be practical. English somehow binds the world together. There are still some countries वहाँ पे इतना fluency नहीं है, but because of English right now, we from India are able to work with clients who are bonded away. Okay, within India itself, we have so much of regional languages, but commonality comes कि भाई all in IT industry will have a common barrier of English, and that's how we will speak. So somehow it is the connecting language. So यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा don't attach your emotions कि regional language, mother tongue ही मैं बोलूँगा, why should I speak English? It's like it's the need of the hour. Don't attach emotions to it. Be practical. It's required. Otherwise, you cannot communicate to the clients, and uske baad you cannot develop anything, right? If you don't speak and understand what they are trying to say. Now that is where. So let's say you want to learn English and effectively communicate, okay, consume, speaking, everything. So your primary focus should be as maximum as possible all throughout the day. You need to consume English only. Avoid anything else. Nothing but while you are in your office or your classes, English consumption. Okay, if you're doing some any online trainings, English consumption. If you're doing Udemy courses, YouTube courses, English consumption. You need to understand, guys, many people make a choice ki, Arey, let me go it in, let's say, Hindi or something else because it's easy to understand. The thing is, the more you consume it in a different language, it will become more tough for you to move to English, because when it will be required. So you need to make a must and a should that all throughout the day, maximum time consume English only. Any courses that you take, any trainings that you, whether you know it or not, don't worry about it. Trust your brain, guys. While you were a child, it learnt just by seeing. So you don't have to put efforts. You just have to keep your senses open and consume. That's it. Don't try to really learn. Just try to be there. Expose yourself to the right environment. You will become like that. Okay. So now on YouTube, there are so many videos. Now it's up to you what you want to watch. There are documentaries, there are movies, there are news, whatever interests you, whatever training you want to do, consume only in English. And when you're consuming that, you need to focus on all the three areas. Okay, visual, verbal, vocal. We'll come to the remaining, but the first one, whenever you see somebody, English mein dekhna hai, and then you have to consume how that person looks, how that person says, how the body language is, whether it's any stage interview you are seeing or CEO interview you are seeing. Like, so many things are available on video form where you can physically see people and consume all of that within you. That's it. So you need to consume in English, and while doing, focus actively with your brain, with your conscious mind. Okay, bhai, what all this guy is doing? Hand gestures, body language, facial expressions. What exactly this person is doing? Consume more. Watch movies. They are all expressing themselves out. Watch the body language. You will feel absorb. 3 hours, 5 hours in your technology train. It's up to you what you want to do, what you want to consume. Garbage ko consume mat karo. Matlab, don't just waste your time in that. Do some learning, value add things. Watch, so many interviews are there where people will be training it. There will be so many trainers online, whatever courses you want in video formats on Udemy and all. Just start taking courses, but keep an eye along with the content. You are learning communication also. Okay, and as maximum as you can all throughout the day, try to just stay exposed to that. No, don't do anything else. Maybe only with your family you speak in whatever language, but majority of the times consume that. Visually consume. Step one. So pick English, pick up courses, watch videos, visually just observe, consume. Your brain will automatically process, okay, how to speak, how not to speak, how to pronounce. Everything will happen. You just have to trust yourself. And you have a magnificent system, guys. Don't really try to doubt yourself. Yoga, na yoga. You can learn anything. Okay, you can just learn anything. That's how your brain is designed. That's one visual aspect. Okay. Now the second area is vocal. We'll come to verbal. But the second aspect is vocal. And it is said that vocal constitutes around 38% of your communication. Okay. तो guys क्या हो गया 55 तो visual खा लिया. Okay, remaining 38 vocal में गया. What is vocal we'll understand. And with verbal, the words that you speak is only 7%. So effective communication is not about what you say. Words are only 7% which consumes, but effective communication is how do you look when you say and how do you actually say it. That's where comes the second clause, verbal. How do you, sorry, vocal. The second part, 38% is vocal. How do you say it? Words तो फिर 7 हो गया. 7% is only words. Rest focus of effective communication is on these two areas. Vocal is how do you use your voice? Okay. How do you use your voice? Guys, just like a singer plays with voice modulation. Okay. High pitches, low pitches. Same statement can be said in so many variants. Same statement can be said in so many variants of different ways. And during you watch movies and so much of stuff there, in all of that also people are just playing with their voice. Okay, so when you want to express anger, voice becomes angry, heavy, different. Okay, when you want to tell something sad, the voice changes. Nothing but you need to start focusing about how can you play with your voice to communicate your message to the other people. Okay, I can tell the same statement ki, how can you communicate your voice to make an impact? Right? What you will consume. I can also be like, how can you communicate your voice to make an impact? Same words, how you present. Pump karna hai, raise the volume, raise your full body language. How can you communicate to make an impact? Right? वो भी absorb होगा. Make it more melodramatic. Like, how can you communicate? Come on, guys, you need to communicate well in order to make an impact. It's all up to you. Words are just words, but how do you present it? That's an art which you need to look while you're absorbing. Okay, how are people telling the sentences? How are they playing with their voices? Going low, going high, because that variation catches the eye of the other person. Okay, just listen, just consume, because that's what 38% is playing with your voice. So people say don't be monotonous. मतलब एक ही tone में don't keep going. If I take my entire 1 hour session in only one tone, bouncer जाएगा. Okay, so sometimes I make it like अरे क्या कर रहे हो? Sometimes अरे क्या कर रहे हो? Right? So variations in voice is very important. Okay, so that's what is vocal. You need to play with your voice. Okay, and second variation of voice comes ki sometimes you need to tell fast, sometimes you need to slow down. Okay, for example, sometimes you need to tell it so fast and direct to the point. Same statement I can say, sometimes you need to tell things slow to create a real impact. It's all about how do you use your voice. Fast sentences will also have an impact. Slow sentences will also have an impact. It's all about how do you package yourself and pour it in the heart of other people. Okay, it's not required to be like only fast and all that. Not required. Communication mein normal composed gesture se bhi very effectively you can pour your thoughts in the mind of other people. So just understand, when it comes to voice, you need to start using the voice pitches, high pitches, low pitches. You need to start focusing on telling fast at times, telling slow at times. Variation should happen. Now, there is no rule book when, how you have to do it. So it's completely up to you. Whatever you find right, do it. Others will be connecting with it. Okay? Okay? So don't worry. We'll take some of these things. We'll take a quick pointers and notes about it as well so that you can start focusing on that. But first, just observe voice ke saath you need to play. And another thing is key, while you're telling something, introduce some pauses in between. Okay, sometimes yeah, after a sentence take a pause, after a few words take a pause. Why? Because now this is important. When you are saying something, you need to give time for the receiver to consume what you are saying. Okay, uske liye add some pauses in between. Otherwise, if rapid fire में धुद 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 shooting करोगे सब ऊपर से निकलेगा, the person will not even catch anything because you were in so much fire mode. So that's another trick. Give pauses in between, take some breaths, relax yourself. Because when you do more of these things, it gives even time for the other person to consume what you're saying. Plus it gives you also the time, okay, to really in the mind, okay, now you move on to the next step. Okay. So now that, guys, that's the second portion, vocal. Okay. So it is even said, I was doing exploring some internet, they said this terminology very nicely: say it like you mean it. Let's understand the statement for a while. Say it like you mean it, look like you mean it. Okay. Nothing but, guys, whatever you say, the words that you want to say, which just constitutes 7% of your communication. Words are only 7%. It's important, but only 7%. These words may, there are two primary focuses we said: visual, vocal. Visual can be said, look as you mean it. Vocal can be said as, say it like you mean it. Okay. It nothing but key, do you really believe in what you're saying? That's what is. Say it like you really mean it. So when I'm taking all these sessions of career transformation, every single thing or technique or strategy that I share, I mean that. I want all you guys to wake up early morning, so my voice is actually trying to really convince you, okay, let's do it together. So you then, देखो, if I believe in what I am saying, I will tell it properly. Okay. If I don't connect, if I don't look as if I am really meaning what I am saying, you will never be able to grasp. Your brain will not process it. Let's say I'm saying, okay, let's simple example. Let's say my words are, today is a happy day of my life. Okay, today is a happy day of my life, and I just tell it in some expressions. Uh, today is a happy day of my life. Okay, एकदम low voice, body language. Today I'm very happy to be in front of you. Okay, your brain will not be able to process it. Why? Because I'm not saying as I really mean my words. You'll be like, अरे tired हो गया है सुबह से, भाग यहाँ से. That's what will happen, right? Because you'll be like, किसको लाके खड़ा कर दिए यहाँ. So I have to say it like I mean it. So when I'm saying, I will be like, today I'm so happy to be with you guys. It's amazing. Chalo, chalo, chalo. Like, I'll create something which connects that, and then say like you really mean it. And you should look also like you mean it. Wow, it's an amazing time, guys. Communication, learning, happening right here, right now. I'm playing with my voice, I'm playing with my body language, and then you will connect with it. If I don't do all these things, maybe it will become flat. So just understand, 55% is your presentation, visual presentation. 38% is your playing with voice, modulations, fast, slow, and all of these variations. Pauses in between, staying composed, relaxing. These two constitute the major portion. So now when you're absorbing, you need to start focusing. Watch so many interviews of big successful people, watch so many online courses of whatever you're training yourself into, skills we are saying, books we are saying. Watch as maximum times, guys. 5 hours, 6 hours, just consume. Unknowingly you will start becoming better. You don't even have to learn anything. You just have to give your brain in the environment and let it learn by itself. Grammar सीखने की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. Nothing will be required. You will just learn it. Your brain is designed like that. You will know, देखो, these things, voice modulation and all, the more you see that, it will come naturally to you. So you don't have to learn, but just observe. अरे वहाँ यहाँ पे voice में खेल रहा है ये बंदा. Okay, at times, oh, serious हो गया, तो all of a sudden the voice has gone low. He's trying to connect with the people. Just observe and consume. Okay, now that's the second area. And now the third section, guys, verbal, the words that you use. Okay, देखो guys, again, even though it constitutes 7 of communication. But there is a one very interesting fact. If you are not telling things which really matter and make sense, even though you might influence others or connect with others, but after some time, your people who are listening to you, they'll be like, "Bakwas kar raha hai ye to." Yeah, this is what will happen. They're like, "What nonsense, man? He's talking all illogical." So even though it is 7%, but if your words are not proper, if you don't have the right knowledge, without right knowledge, even if you are a great communicator, people will make fun of you. They'll be like, "Kya anap shanap bok raha hai?" They'll be like, "Isse अच्छा है तो चुप बैठ." This is what people will say, and that's the truth. So wrong information propagation and all that is really going to be damaging. And even if you try to sell wrong things more in your whatever communication skills, it will backfire on you because people will never trust you. And if the trust is broken, baki ka kuch kaam nahi aata hai. And that's the reason, guys, you have to constantly upgrade yourself and tell things which really are genuine, which you believe, and no more, learn more. That's the only way. That's where we are saying constantly keep upgrading your skills, learn new skills regularly. We are saying constantly learn more books so that more mindset comes from the books as well. So when you just keep consuming this, your words will automatically start having more value. Again, absorption. So you need to watch verbal ke liye, it's like you need to watch, listen more audiobooks, you need to read more, okay, you need to watch more maybe blogs or something. Automatically, if you do book reading, if you keep listening to audio programs, automatically your words, grammar, that will start correcting. Okay, that's it. You just have to consume, but consume like anything. Don't try to evaluate it, don't try to process it. Okay, only 1 hour I will consume. It doesn't work like that. 1 hour consume for 5 years tak you just want to keep learning this only. Daily 1 hour, what is that? Daily 10 hours. Then you will learn it in a matter of some months. As a child, you learn 24/7. Then also it took some time. Right now, if you make only 1 hour, I will do it. It will get dragged. Okay, so you need to consume. And देखो guys, one of the key thing, I'll just tell you based upon my experience ki how unknowingly I really became good in my communication skills. I did not work on it, it just happened. Okay, and the primary thing was while we were in college. Okay, somehow all of a sudden हम लोग को movies का भूत चढ़ गया. Okay, so we were like, okay, all these movies of Avengers and Fast and Furious series तो market में लाते थे, and we used to just keep watching DVDs लाके चलते रहता था, चलते रहता. So like per day we consumed like 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours tak just movies, 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 movies. And for like all these 3-4 years, it was a regular pattern in our life. Office karte the, sorry, like college karke, while we were at our home, weekends mein this, that, only movies, movies, and everything in English. Okay? And unknowingly, the brain just learned whatever it saw. That's it. And guys, it took like 4 years. It's not like every day we were doing, but every week we used to spend many hours in just consuming that, watching it, and that's it. The brain just learned it. Okay. And I was not knowing how that skill further helps, but for 4 years, feeding that changed me, which I realized later in my life. That's why I'm going based upon practice. I did not try to learn it. And let me tell you, during my entire schooling time, okay, during my entire schooling time, only with teachers we used to speak in English. With our children, with our like students and friends, it was Hindi. At home, it was Hindi. So even though that was like that, but college time, 4 years absorbing this new thing changed me. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. I did not try to do it. It just happened naturally. It just happened naturally. Okay, and now this is about the first part, consume. And I'm telling you guys, 6 hours, 8 hours, start consuming. Now onwards, anything that you watch on internet for your learnings or whatever, try to consume it in English only from these three aspects. Look at people, hear how they are saying it, and focus on their words. Read more books. everything, your grammar, all those things will start connecting internally. It's natural, it will happen, that's it. If you're doing only 1 2 hours, it will drag for a very long time. You will not find effective results in that. Dedicate yourself 6 hours a day in this, you will improve, guaranteed. Okay, now let's come to the second area. So the first is consume, the second is produce, tell, do, take actions. Why? Because unless you take actions, this internal fear or resistance will not break. Okay, all this hesitation which you might have, or the self-doubt, or what will people take and interpret, all that is going to kill you. If you don't speak, you will always be nervous, broken down in your confidence. So you need to speak. That's how you become better. And while you speak, again, you need to focus on all of these three areas. How do you look? How do you speak? Say it like you mean it. And what words you speak. That's it. You need to even master that. Now, the focus of this week 4 is for you to become a better consumer and for you to practice as well with confidence, with boldness, no holding back. Galat hai, but do it. What we are going to do is I will be sharing a Facebook group. Okay, it's a group between close people. It's not a public group where you all join. Okay, some of the previous batch members might already be there, but it's a closed group of just us, all the career transformation members itself. There might be some previous batch members also, but they are all just local group people. Okay, in that platform, we want to daily, okay, guys, it's simple. We want to daily go live within our internal groups. Why? Because many people have this hesitation. If I do it in front of others, people might do this, people might do that. थोड़ा avoid karte. Let's focus in our internal group. Nobody is going to laugh. Everybody might make mistake, but we all will be there to support one another and make mistake. Do it. But while you're doing it, step by step strategize. Okay, how do you want to look when you speak? How do you want to use your hands? How do you want to use your body posture? How do you want to use your facial expression? Think about that every time before taking the session. In your initial days, try to think, okay, this statement I will say like this statement my hands will be like this. It will happen naturally, but try to put some effort, even though it looks fake, but try to do it visually. Try to play with your voice. Okay, same statement, maybe you can just come live and read a book. It's up to you, okay, what you want to do. Okay, we can simply say you come live and share just how your today went. That's it. It could be as simple as that. Today since morning, whatever you did, you just come live and speak. Basically, it's required that you speak, and when you speak, focus on these three things. Or you can come live, share your personal life experiences which might benefit others. Or you come live and you read some book. स्कूल टाइम में वो टीचर बोलती थी बुक पढ़ो, it is actually required. It helps in so many ways. So you can just come live, open a book, you read it, same statement, read it multiple number of times till the time you read it very fluently. It's no judging, but the thing is, come live and do it. Why live is important? In the old times, okay, old times before technology was there, one technique of improving your communication, people said, ki stand in front of mirror and do it so that you can observe yourself. Okay, now the thing is, do it live with digital evidence. So your recorded version will be there. You can play it again, try to analyze where you're making mistakes and then try again. You can use technology for growing more faster. If you feel hesitated to come live, then perform step 1, stand in front of mirror, maybe whatever you want to say live, just practice everything, do some trial work before, then come live and do it. And guys, this live is only within the internal group itself, so there is no, even if you do everything wrong, still it's a good step. Okay, so guys, right from tomorrow onwards, we want all of you to start working on effective communication. Visual, verbal, vocal, more consumption, more speaking. Okay, during the day, come live, you plan ki kya bolna hai. It's completely open for you. It can be about any topic, anything. Okay, If you really want nice inputs, I would suggest ki pick up a all the job seekers ke liye, pick up a technology related item. Okay, because it will help you even in your interview. It will help you to the interview. Just come live and start doing interview questions. If this kind of a question is asked, then this will be my answer. Try to explain that answer properly. It will help you during your interview cracking also, because you would have already said so many number of times. Mind maybe a clarity will be there. So all the job seekers, pick up something which you can really master during interview process. Explaining a concept or explaining a design, you can do that. All the working professionals, it's completely up to you what you want to pick up. Okay, it could be about technology, it could be about skill, it could be about personal life, it could be about books. Guys, so don't hold back. What should I do? Do something. Okay, do something, because that will improve you. Okay, that's one focus of this full week, daily lives. And that's where in the sheet we have one parameter about go live. Right from tomorrow onwards we will start filling that parameter. Okay, now chalo, we have 7 minutes and I want to discuss about other things also, but we have 7 minutes. Let's quickly do the day review. So as part of that, firstly, just mark your Excel sheet, everyone. Okay, mark your Excel sheet. Meanwhile, I'll give the attendance as well. I'll launch all the Excel sheets. Fill it up. Be honest to yourself and push yourself. If you're not consistent, push yourself more. And it just works, guys. Trust your brain. ज़्यादा कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. It's natural process. That's it. It's a natural process. And if you really learn English, if you really become good with that, in a long run in your life, it will be very useful. Because when you travel to other places, when you are in board meetings and all. Okay, so what we are going to discuss tomorrow is also going to be very interesting. But today's day is the foundation of this communication. From tomorrow, we'll make it more corporate specific communication. Okay. Okay. Let me share the attendance. Guys, make sure you're all doing. It's just the last 5 days of this season. We really want to get better in our communication now. Okay, and follow this whatever system that we built up. And tomorrow we will again come back morning 6 a.m. Let the routine continue. Okay. Okay, everyone. Code for today is 3333. You can mark the attendance on this. Okay, and guys, there is this one situation. Okay, so one of our team member, so that guy is posting a lot on LinkedIn. Okay, so already working in a company. So what happened is the company HR called and said, why are you posting so many things on LinkedIn? Okay, so HR spoke that why are you posting this, that, and yeah, pointed out some negatives in doing these and all. Key other people might laugh at you. They are already laughing. Why are you doing all such things? People might leave your connections and all that. So you need to know it's a negative world out there. Whenever you try to do something different, people will become uncomfortable, because majority of the people will think like that. Here, this guy is growing and all that, and people become uncomfortable. Okay, I would simply like to suggest there are multiple ways. Okay, first you can create a different accounts where you don't really, if you feel it is going to really impact you in some way or the other, you can just create a different accounts with alias names called as success or like Java developer or technology expert, whatever, and you can just start posting, sharing everything from those accounts. Okay, because knowledge is going to be valuable. Okay, if you want to come on video, come on video. If you don't want to come, maybe just do it with a camera off, just audio kind of programs. But there are ways of getting things done. Okay, so my suggestion, open a different account on Instagram, open a different account on LinkedIn, have multiple accounts there, and with other account try to post if you feel people will take it negatively. But let me tell you ki, just the way Arnold said it, you need to become good and you need to show to the world that you are good, then only opportunities will come. So if negative people are coming, and yes, don't risk your career and life because HR hai, kuch kar dega job ko, to yeah, that's also a risk. So the point is, rather than getting into arguments and fights and all that, it is okay to back off because वो फिर HR personally ले लेगा कि even after I told he is doing this also, नाटक करेंगे फिर फालतू, ठीक है? So in such case, maybe yes, you can create a different account for yourself, post it there, so you will still be live publicly, and maybe you can just hide your identity there if you feel it's going to be that problematic. Okay, or अपने internal group में तो you can keep daily posting, but internal group visibility is less, right? So you can make it actually anonymous group with a generic title and post from there if you feel any hesitation. Guys, I am doing it since a lot of time, like 3 years or so, and whenever I feel these negative people, I just block them away without even a second thought. उस पे दिमाग नहीं लगाता. I just like block and gone. That's it. So whenever I feel any kind of a negative thing will come, I'll just block and I just move on from those people. I don't keep engaging with them also. Okay. So, but anyways, you have to make a decision, make a wise one. Okay. Okay. Fine, guys. So I'm sharing the screen, looking at the attendance. It's already time's up. Mark the attendance. Meanwhile, I'm checking your day activity. So career transformation season 3. Sharing the screen. Hopefully you guys might have done it. Okay. So this is one sheet. Second, two. Team Curious. Third, Tech Legends. And fourth, this is also a trick, okay? By showcasing daily in front of everyone, your brain will be like, oh, my data is going to be revealed. If I'm too much of zeros, it's a psychological game. You will try to really try things better. Okay, now ye ek karke chalte. Okay. Akhila, can you give me edit access to your sheet? Just give my user edit access. So at least देखो यहाँ पे you just lock this row proper. Okay, so you can still scroll this top row and you can fix these two properly so you can navigate nicely. Chalo, meanwhile, one by one. Okay, so today is 26th. Okay, hey, where is Shravan's data? Is Shravan live with us? Shravan, are you there? Shenu is on leave. I thought ki Shravan was there. I'm not sure. I'm taking the font, applying it here. Acha, Afsar is editing. That's where is that focus. Huh? Okay. Guys, यहाँ पे sum formula use करो ना. Team, everyone use a sum formula. Don't manually calculate. Just write equal to sum and then choose whatever column you have year to year. Okay, like this. So just do the sum formula. Okay, yeah, that's it. So just keep doing this sum formula. It will take care of everybody.
The access was edited, sir. Just I
Okay, okay,
mentioned it as it.
okay. ठीक है. Okay, fine. So Shravan is filling the sheet. Afsar and Harshali done. We have 19 and 12. Guys, thoda sa you all need to buck up a bit. Okay, at least shall Afsar is try to reach 20 guys every single day. Okay, try to reach 20 every day. Okay, learning for the day, we are going to do it after the session is done. So you can still make a 1 year as soon as session is done, we'll do that. Okay, the rest everything, the counters are going good. So Afsar did it nicely. Harshali is having some areas of improving here. Plus focus more on Pomodoros Harshali. Okay. श्रवण का ऑन ऑफ काफी हो रहा है. Guys, track yourself. Make sure कि in the long run consistency will be built up. Every single day try to change this counter to a better number. Okay, let's go to Team Curious. Okay, this is Krishna. Where is your data, man? वो ये तो गजब ही हो गया भाई. 14 Pomodoros by Nigar. Okay, that's good. And she's consistently nailing it. 15, 14, 14. Pretty good. And there's like one important thing. Pomodoros that you do all throughout the day. You consider that. Okay, all throughout the day. It could be like even after the session is done, if you sit in a focused attention, you can count that. Okay, so that's what it is. I think even these sessions that we are doing, these are focus sessions, but yeah, we can still find. Okay, so these are Pomodoros, but otherwise it's good. Lakshmi is also nice with 8 pointers. This is a good thing. Okay, and these guys are fully good. Book reading Lakshmi ka ek miss ho gaya. Okay, but yes, 30, 24, awesome. Krishna, your data needs to be filled up, man. Quickly.
ऑलरेडी आपको दिख नहीं रहा है.
हाँ, दिख नहीं रहा है. डेटा सिंक नहीं है क्या?
अब मैंने अपडेट कर दिया सर. और
कहाँ पे अपडेट किया? 26 वाला रिकॉर्ड ही क्या?
यस सर.
Maybe you are not connected to internet or something on your sheet.
लेट मी चेक सर.
हाँ, एक बार देखो. Locally अपडेट हो गया रहेगा. It's not yet synced. Okay, ठीक है. Moving on. Tech Legends. Okay. Oh. Okay. 26. Let's look at this. 30, 20, 22. Okay, so this team is running at top right now. Huh? Very good. So 30, 20, 22. And where it is happening is Pomodoros mein Dibesh is leading with 17, 6 and 9. So very good to see Pomodoros are going good. And 20 ka threshold cross ho raha hai. If you can have that consistency on a regular basis, it is pretty good. And if you observe here, okay, so compared to the previous data, so 11, 16, 13, okay, or even let's say last kapta, 23rd was Friday, 34, 21, 18. Okay, so yes, the rhythm is going good, guys. Okay, so Tech Legends is pretty nice and consistent. Next, pretty good, keep it up. And next we have the Lightning Legends. Okay, you're saying you gave me edit access, so let me, why this HTML view? Okay, yeah, got it. Wow, very good. Nice. 26th, there are 4 people here. This is the sum, so I'm putting it into one color. Okay, 35 Akila. You guys can just use this formula, drag, drop, it works. Manually type kar rahe kya, guys? Don't type it manually, team. Okay, sum from this to here. Okay, done. And then dragging for all. Okay. Whoa, so this team is also on fire. 35, 34, 24, 22. Okay, pretty good. And then just keep observing on your counters, which is not happening. So just keep pushing yourself there and take it forward. Okay. But yes, awesome. So nice to see all you guys pretty consistent. Now let's just say ki share stopping screen. We'll stop in 2 minutes this session. Stop sharing. Okay, so guys, the focus of tomorrow's session. Okay, so what you are supposed to do, firstly, whatever we learned today, we need to make it practical right from tomorrow onwards. So during the day, try to go live whenever you find comfortable. Timing is also not restriction, but go live and try to practice any of this area, either visual speaking, vocal speaking, or word speaking. But just come live into the internal group. I will share the link as part of our WhatsApp group after this. Okay, and all the team members support each other to just go live and share themselves up. Okay, that's one. Second thing is tomorrow morning, yes, 6 a.m. we will meet. I will see whether to have one person or the entire group. I'll discuss on that. But tomorrow 9 p.m. when we meet, we will focus on corporate communication. Okay, which needs some more updates. Ki how do you drive calls? How do you drive presentations? And whatever kind of things are required for meeting etiquettes. So we are going to focus on all that, and as part of this week, we are even going to do short group discussions or corporate meeting driving sessions within your small groups as well. Okay, so that you can get practical knowledge. We just have 4 more days to do. So tomorrow wo karke, this week may we will plan, but make sure that you participate, you push yourself, even though if it makes you uncomfortable by any chance. Okay, kar lo, because you will realize a lot about you once you do this exercise. Okay, so fine, guys. That's it for the day. See you guys tomorrow morning and sleep by 11. Okay, don't drag too much. Sleep by 11, everyone. So thank you all. Take care. Have a nice day, everybody.
Okay.